I'm a cultural and clinical psychologist. I wanted to know, how do newly arrived refugees fare in their new homes in Western nations? Last year, during Christmas 2022, a time for many families to enjoy their home, rituals, and comfort, I walked from Poland into Ukraine, crossing its borders. There I heard a sentiment I've heard many times over, that being a refugee hurts. The millions of Ukrainians today had never imagined that they would be on the run from their own country, and they would have never imagined that they would be referred to as refugees, with all the negative connotations that are associated with the word refugee. I met Tara, 30 years old, who's currently in Krakow, Poland. Tara escaped Nikopol. You can see that on the map. In Nikopol today, there is no water. Since it's close to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, its residents live in constant worry. Just 2 days ago, it was bombed. This past Tuesday, it was bombed multiple times through the night by the Russian forces. In Poland, Tara says, I do not consider myself a refugee or a guest. Mostly, I consider myself totally empty. Her children's schools have been utterly destroyed. These are photos of them that she has shared with us from just a couple of weeks ago from Ukraine.
A few years prior to Ukraine, in 2016, I found myself face to face with the Sabri family in a resettlement camp in Germany. They had fled their hometown of Ghouta, a suburb southeast of Damascus, following the Ghouta chemical attack during the Syrian Civil War.
Sarah was reluctant to remember the most calamitous day of her life. On August 21, 2013, rocket launchers loaded with mustard gas, chemical agents like chlorine, sarin, sulfur, they dropped bombs on her neighborhood, on her dense neighborhood. It was the summer. People had slept with their windows open, and outside it was sheer massacre. Sarah heard religious leaders screaming on top of their lungs, close the windows, get away from the windows. I asked, in a separate interview, I asked Faisal, how was Sarah that day? And Faisal looked visibly disturbed from his vigorously trembling left arm. He said he had endured torture by the Assad regime, but he said, this was the worst day of my 32 years of my life. Sarah stopped producing breast milk that day, and little Johnny wakes up with night terrors. Both Sarah and Faisal attribute little Johnny's nervousness to what happened that day in Ghouta, Syria. Amidst widespread insecurity and starvation, the famished people of Ghouta were forced to eat whatever. Moss off the rocks, donkeys' meats, cats, dogs. Faisal hid himself from a water cistern, from one to another on neighbors' roofs, as he tried to survive. It was compulsory for Syrian men between the ages of 18 to 42 years old to serve in the military under Syrian law. So if Faisal was caught, he would be incarcerated and punished again. It was under these circumstances that after a year, the Sabris escaped to Lebanon, Turkey, then to Germany, where they found a safe haven. This is where I met Sarah and Johnny and Faisal as I sat face to face with them. More than 3 years later, I found them like a deer caught in headlights. I found them shell-shocked, anguished, and deeply unprepared for what life held for them.